They actually have no water?
No, I actually asked him, this guy right here. I said, how do you have no water? He said, we have no water.
Oh my God.
They have nothing.
That's so fucked up, man.
Urgently call for the immediate recall of Mayor Karen Bass due to her gross mismanagement and failure to effectively respond to the devastating 2020 fires.
I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
With some gel, by pre-treating that gel, hopefully it's going to absorb some of the heat so that wood siding doesn't catch on fire. But it's not an end all, it's not the savior of anything. We still have to come back to extreme rates of spread.
You got a rainbow going, baby.
In the wake of these catastrophic fires, our city has been left in crisis. Water supplies have been severely strained. Billions of taxpayer dollars have been misallocated or left unaccounted for. And countless lives have been lost. Families have been displaced, homes destroyed, livelihoods shattered, yet Mayor Bass has been absent from the front lines, choosing to travel abroad while her constituents suffer.
When you have a woke black woman running a city, you're going to have the woke revolutionaries and CNN and the liberal media. They're going to come out here and play Captain Save a Democrat.
California is on fire. And a lot of this has to do with their environmental policies. There are a lot of environmentalists who won't let them clear cut certain parts of the wooded areas. Number 1. Number 2, the homeless problem is out of control. Number 3, they got the governor, whose name is Gary Newsom or something like that, but he's a nuisance anyway, doesn't matter. And number 4, power lines come down, they hit the brush, they start fires. They don't clear cut it because they're worried about the spotted owl or some kind of rodent that the environmentalists are trying to protect. They have fire breaks. Usually they'll cut through. A lot of states do, right? So that the fire could break at certain areas. They'll clear cut pathways. They don't do this stuff in California, so they're not mentioning this stuff in the news. But that's part of the problem that California has. And number 4, it's run by Democrats. Well, here we go again. That video you just watched was from 2019, and the same problems they had then, they still have now, have not been fixed. You know who runs the state? Gavin Newsom. He is the governor, and you've got forget the other woman now, who is the mayor, Karen Bass or something like that. The environmentalists have seized the day. There's a fish called a smelt, which is taking priority over having water in dams and other places, because the water flows down, from what I understand, from up the north or from up Canada way, and flows down into that area, and they shovel it right into the sea. Now they've run out of water. Now what? You try to get permits or anything done in California, it takes forever. This is the classic failed state, and they keep voting in the same guy. Remember, that video you just saw was from 2019. There is no clear cutting for the brush. They don't have loggers in there making pathways so the fire can kind of like fire breaks. None of that's been done. Yes, the winds are strong. It might not have helped, but it'd be something. But the water, they definitely could do something about. But go ahead, vote that guy back in again in the next 2 years. Go ahead, do it.
I'm just looking at facts. State Farm and Allstate stop selling insurance.
This is the PBD podcast. Patrick Bet Davis. You get it on YouTube. PBD.
Because of the California Fair Plan and Governor Newsom. Fact, State Farm announced last year they would non-renew 30,000 policies in what they called, ready for this? Wildfire risk areas.
Well, there you go. Wildfire risk areas. Clear places they haven't cleared the brush in who knows how many years, made no pathways through the forest and anywhere near power lines. This hasn't been done. Insurance companies are there to make money. and they saw a disaster that could cost them, I don't know how many billions of dollars. So they pulled out of California.
And you're thinking middle of nowhere, big bear up in the forest. Nope. Guess what? They non-renewed. Here's the stat, Pat. State Farm non-renewed 69% of the policies it had in Pacific Palisades. Data point this morning confirmed. State Farm said last year, we're non-renewing 69% of the homes we insure currently today in Palisades. Why? Long-term brush risk and poor management of the common area.
Long-term brush risk, and they weren't taking care of the common areas. Hey, let's put the conspiracy hat on now. These people who lost their houses, they're not going to have the money to rebuild. So you're going to have other people coming in. It's going to be a fire sale. They're going to be selling their land cheap, and, well, people will be coming in to buy their land and rebuild. So many people who were living there for generations, that's it. They're not going to be able to rebuild their homes. They're going to have to move somewhere else or start all over again. It is a complete tragedy. And I feel really bad for the people that live in that area. It's got to be really hard. They've lost everything.
Why did they do that? Because the county of LA and the city of LA had suspended brush removal in Palisades.
Say that one more time.
Because the county of LA and the city of LA had suspended brush removal in Palisades. This comes down to the county.
Are you joking?
Yeah, you can find it. You can find it was suspended here. Casual brush removal suspended here. Limited brush removal suspended here. This is all going to come out.
And before we go any further, here is the DEI hire that they hired for the job. DEI, Democrats employing idiots.
Better? Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
By the way, this is a trans individual, from what I understand. Could be wrong. So you got yourself in a wrong place if I have to carry you out of a fire. Okay. I think that should explain everything. Right there. That explains everything right there. These are the people that they're hiring.
Sorry, what? You mean to tell me that through no fault of my own, I'm in a fire? Someone could have set fire to my house. I'm inhaling the smoke right now. I'm quite badly burned, and I'm unable to walk because my legs are burned. I need help, please. Help me. Someone, get me. Put me on your shoulder and carry me down the ladder, please, big chubby woman. That sounds like a you problem to me, sir. It's not my responsibility. You've got yourself into this mess. You get yourself out of it. Just loses it. Check this out.
Listen, I am so tired. You know what? There was an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is black women.
Tommy Sotomayor and Kevin Samuel mentioned this. No, they're the most enrolled. Not the most educated, the most enrolled. And when they do go through it, it's usually nursing, some kind of a business course, or the soft science. Go on. So let me be clear. Because you are a woman. And by the way, they're coming out with $100,000 in debt, $50,000, $200,000 in debt. Women in the States carry a huge college debt loan, and you can't write it off. Go on. Or because I know that some of the right has been sharing these photos of the fact that I believe that the fire chief may be a woman or something. That has nothing to do with it. We are looking at qualifications. What diversity, equity, and inclusion has always been about. There we go. What did I say? DEI. Did not earn it. Exactly. Don't be fooled. Just because she's talking a lot doesn't mean she's saying anything which is truthful. You notice nobody can get a word in edgeways. Is saying, you know what? Open this up. Don't just look at the white men. Open it up and recognize that other people can be qualified. And the fact that we want to, at a time when people are dying, decide that a country of immigrants is failing or people are dying because the same very people that built this country, because the last time I checked, y'all didn't say that anything was wrong with the White House, and I can promise you it was my ancestors that built the White House. So listen, if we have been good enough to build this country, we are good enough to serve and die overseas. We are good enough to serve
serve in other ways. And
all right, I mean, we got to give Scott Jennings an award here, right? I mean, he's deserved one.
Come on now, this Scott Jennings, he looks exactly like Clark Kent. I'm just saying, this could be this could be Superman in disguise.
Saying was a bunch of, again, victim mindset, lack mentality, white man bad, black people don't have enough, and it'll never be enough for people like her. It doesn't matter. We can make every single government position leader from one state to the city to the president of the United States, make them all black, and it will still not be enough. That's the type of mindset that she has.
For Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, you all voted for Gavin Newsom. And now you get what you get. Oh, now that your house is on fire, well, now you're thinking about something else. Now you want to know what's going on. What's going on around here? All these people who are deep blue Democrats are now going to have to pull a permit to rebuild.
From what I understand, this is Adam Carolla. I think he's a comedian. Yeah, you know what he's talking about, this permit? You know how long to get a permit in California? I think it's 1 to 2 years. So all these people who didn't have to face this before, all the bureaucracy, are now going to find out. And any aspirations that Gavin Newsom had for being president might be pretty well shot. But, you know, he has another 4 years to redeem himself. That's if he hangs on to his job.
The rebuild takes place because California has the worst regulations possible. To do anything to your house, to get a permit is like pulling teeth. And so we'll see if Gavin Newsom or even the local city officials do the right thing.
One of the reasons why we left Oakland Park is we're trying to get a damn permit for a fence. 2 years, 2.5 years for one permit.
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.